Hello, this is Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, this week's news in the livestock industry is bad. While many of America's cattle producers are up day and night fighting to keep their calves alive during inclement weather, their counterparts in sister industries, the executive officers of the industrialized hog and poultry complexes, are deciding how to kill their hogs and chickens because they don't have enough processing capacity left as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This should be alarming to every American. Reports of milk and fresh produce being dumped on the ground adds to this bizarre industry behavior. We are now witnessing the closure of monolithic meat packers, which harvest thousands of head of livestock in a single plant every day. Many cattle producers today have cattle to sell, but no market to sell into. At the same time, many consumers are finding empty beef cases in their grocery stores. The question we must answer is what went wrong? Why is our food system so vulnerable to this crisis? And equally important, what must we do about it? The answer to what went wrong is clear. America stopped supporting its family farm system of agriculture and instead stood silent as a handful of corporations reshaped our nation's entire food system to maximize their shareholders' profits. And they did this without regard to the equity erosion this inflicted on rural America, and without regard to the risks this created for our nation's food security interests. For decades, neither Congress nor federal regulators saw fit to enforce our antitrust laws and other laws passed decades ago to protect and preserve our family farm system of agriculture, our marketplace competition, and our food security. We've skeletonized our food supply chains, our food processing capacity, and our food distribution system. There is no redundancy. If one part of the skeleton breaks, there are no alternatives. The system shuts down, and grocery store shelves begin to empty. The COVID-19 pandemic is a wake-up call to America, a call to fundamentally change the structure of our food industry by decentralizing the highly centralized and highly concentrated system that we've allowed it to become. At best, today's food system is incapable of meeting the food security needs of America. So here we are, in the middle of a place we never wanted to be. So where do we go from here? Well, in an emergency, we must engage in triage. We must identify the critical parts of our food system that must be maintained at all costs if we are to have the opportunity to rebuild a functioning food system after the pandemic is over. Those critical parts in our nation's food system are what's left of our dwindling number of family farmers and ranchers. Our first step must be to not allow them to be eliminated by the weight of the skeletonized parts of the food supply chain that are crashing down upon them. Congress recognized this when it passed the CARES Act and allocated $9.5 billion to support America's livestock producers, dairy farmers, and others. We can only hope it's enough. The second step must be to restore the lost competition that has occurred in our food industry, which has caused a complete and absolute disconnect between the low prices that American cattle producers receive for their cattle and the higher prices consumers are paying for beef. To this end, we cannot settle for incremental changes or slight tweaks to what we know is a fundamentally broken system. No, we must restore robust competition, lasting competition, competition that will provide the foundations for rebuilding a food system that can meet America's needs, whether in a crisis or otherwise. We cannot settle for anything less. The trade associations that helped skeletonize our food system for decades cannot be relied upon to do this, nor can Congress or the many presidents who sat silent while this happened. No, it's up to you and me. We must each call Congress and tell them exactly what we expect of them. If we don't, we should expect the worst because they will know nothing else. Here are the first two steps Congress must be told to do to restore foundational competition in our nation's largest segment of American agriculture, our U.S. cattle industry. First, tell them to pass legislation to require all beef sold in America to be labeled as to where it was born, raised, and harvested. This will reignite competition and allow American consumers to begin supporting American farmers and ranchers. Second, tell them to pass legislation to require beef packers to purchase a majority of their cattle needs from the competitive cash market. This will restore our industry's most important price discovery market. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help to restore America's food security, please join with us by going to our website at r-calfusa.com. With that, thank you and goodbye.